Alright, in this video, I'm going to do a Red Hood and a Nightwing Physique analyst. So I just got done recording my Nightwing archetype video, but I decided yesterday that I wanted to, make a Physique analyst type of video where we use the Red Hood from DC, which is Jason Todd, and Nightwing, which is Dick Grayson from DC. Alright, and I'm basically be explaining the differences between each physique and what you can do to attain each physique. Alright, and if you should attain each physique. Okay, so I'm gonna get straight into this video, and let's get to it, bro. So Nightwing, he's going to have a lean aesthetic build. So he's gonna have wide shoulders, a small waist, visible abs, athletic look. Like I said in the last video, if you came from last video, he has really strong core. That's his main strength. He has a really strong core. Okay, and he looks like he can flip me over. I will admit I did Chat GBT this, so that's why I look a little bit Chat GBT ish, but we're not gonna talk about that. All right. Red Hood. I wanted to get it right for you guys. I don't want to just give you guys false information, so I had to chat GPT this. Red Hood, his build, he's gonna have a thick chest, big arms, denser muscle. Like he really has denser muscle. You're gonna see later in the pictures, like the muscle differences. You're gonna see Nightwing's gonna have like this lean muscle look. He's gonna have like this dense, square shaped muscle. All right, and he's gonna be slightly blockier. All right, so this guy's gonna look like he can beat you in a fight. You don't want to mess with him. All right, he looks like he's gonna flip you over. Or flip over you. Oh my gosh, that was bad. Alright, but yeah. He can basically be Nightwing's gonna be athletic power, he's gonna be raw power, right? We can say that. So this is gonna be the Nightwing physique. Alright. If you came from last video, you already seen this. But this is gonna be Nightwing's physique here, as you can see. It's AI generated, of course. Because if you look on Google, you can't really get a good, accurate Nightwing physique. So I just had AI make one for me. He looks exactly like me too. So shout out to him. Shout out to AI for making me have this amazing, beautiful physique that I'm gonna have soon. But as you can see, his main strengths are gonna be his chest. Right, he's gonna have this upper chest. Right, a good superhero looking chest. He has a strong core. Right, that's his main strength. Like his core is amazing. Right, that's his main strength. Because you gotta think he's an acrobat. Right, so he has to have a strong core. And he has a good shoulder to width ratio. He has really nice looking shoulders too. He has proportioned arms. And he has good lat thickness and good upper back thickness too. Alright, so this is going to be Nightwing's main physique strength. So we're just talking in terms of aesthetics. But that's just in terms of aesthetics. So in my opinion, I think this physique looks better than the Red Hood's physique. I'm going to show you his physique in just a second. So this is going to be the Red Hood's physique. As you can see, like I said earlier, his muscle looks really dense. Right, you look at this picture, for example, it looks a lot more like lean muscle, athletic muscle. You're gonna look at this and you're gonna be like, okay, this dude is really dense. This dude looks like he's on roids, okay? And I think if you want to attain this physique, you might need to hop on roids depending on your genetics. I will be completely honest with you guys. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. If you want to attain this physique, you probably do have to hop on roids, especially because you gotta be a taller build for this physique. But you never know, right? Start your first 5 years of training and see where you get. And if you get somewhere close to this, you should be good. If you're like nowhere near this, you either need to train better or you got to hop on roids. And that's just the sad truth about it, because this is a really good, crazy, impressive physique. All right. So this is going to be his main strength. So as you can see, his abs, they're a more blockier look, right? He's going to be higher body fat too than Nightwing too. So that's why his abs aren't going to like be as lean, muscle looking, more dense, square looking. So this is going to be his abs, really blocky, like I said earlier. His arms are going to be a big strength, right? He's going to have these big arms, these huge arms, okay? And he's going to have a big, huge chest. So you just got to think, this is going to be your typical, guy who crushes his push day, all right? Back day, not as much, but push day, he's going to crush it, right? He's going to, like, bench, like, 405. He's going to, bicep curl, like, crazy amounts. So just think, this is going to be, like, a guy who's really strong on his push day, okay? Now he has a thick back too, so thick. He has a good thick back. And that's really about it. So he can really crush his rows, right? He's gonna be a big row guy. Maybe not a pull-up guy, but he's gonna be a big row guy. Nightwing's gonna be more of a pull-up guy, because that's more of a calisthenic lift, calisthenic movement. Shoulders, he's gonna crush shoulder press. He's gonna crush his bicep curls, his triceps. So this is basically the physiques right here. And now we're going to be doing a little battle here. So we have 5 rounds, okay? we have number one, aesthetics. Number two is going to be presence. Number three is going to be attainability. So how much easier is it to attain this physique? I think you guys already know the answer. Number four is going to be performance. So which physique performs the best in like a battle or just in life in general. Number five is going to be strength. Okay, so which one is stronger? That's pretty simple. Number one, I didn't explain this good enough. Aesthetics is going to be who has the most aesthetic physique. And number two is going to be presence. Who, whenever someone walks in a room, who's going to have better aura? Who's going to be more scarier? All right, so that's how we're going to be ranking this physique. So before we get into that, this is my program right here, the Batcave. This is going to be top link in the description if you're interested. All right, this is where I talk about how I made my transformation. This is me 2 years into training, by the way, right here, this picture. I was already training for 2 years here, and I completely got my training wrong. So I basically teach you guys how to fix your training, how to bulk properly. And I went from 135 to 155 in the span of 8 months from just, training properly, okay? So check that out, top link in the description. All right, also go into a Batman style of training too. So if you're really interested in like the Batman style of training, make sure you guys just go check that out and learn the Dark Knight method. And I also plan on adding one-on-one coaching in the future to this. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm also planning on adding some extra modules in there too. So the people who get it now are going to be able to get some more exclusive stuff later on. All right. I'm probably going to add like a Nightwing Physique module or maybe even a Red Hood Physique. I don't know. We will see. I'm not going to create anything until summertime. But round one is going to be aesthetics. So aesthetics is going to go to Nightwing. Okay, I think this is pretty obvious. He has a stronger V taper. He has these cleaner lines around his physique. He's going to have a more model and superhero look. Like I said, he has a nice upper chest. He has a lot of good shadows around his physique. That makes the muscles pop out better. And he has a good shoulder to width ratio from the V taper. Unlike Jason Todd, who's going to be more of a just big, bulky guy. He's still lean, of course. I'm not saying he's not lean, but he's more of that bulky tank build. He's going to be more of this athletic, aesthetic build. All right. All right, presence. Jason Todd, or we're going to say Red Hood, doesn't really matter. He looks dangerous, right? Like I said, I think a lot of you guys knew he was going to go into presence just because, he's a little bit taller. He's thicker. He's more intimidating. He's stronger, he's bigger, I guess we can say. He feels heavier, more powerful. So I think this one's pretty obvious. Presence was going to go to him. But you can always say Presence can go to Nightwing too. We can always have another argument for that another day. But right now we're just going to give Presence to Jason Todd. In terms of just how they look, he looks a lot more scarier than this guy. All right. That's no shade to him. It's just the truth. Now, attainability, this is going to go to Nightwing. All right. So I thought this was pretty obvious too. This physique is going to be a lot more easier to build, a lot more easier to attain natty. As you guys heard me in the beginning of the video, I was talking about how Jason Todd's physique or the Red Hood's physique is going to maybe, rely on steroids, right? You might got to get steroids to get a build like that. All right. While Nightwing, if you want to get a physique like Nightwing, you can be completely natty, right? Completely natty. Because he's that athletic muscle type of build, while the other guy's the tank build. So less mass is going to be required here. Because, if you're Nightwing, you don't want to be putting on a lot of mass, right? You want to put on as much strength as possible, but not a whole bunch of muscle mass because you're trying to, move. You're trying to perform better in the battle. All right? And he's going to be able to maintain aesthetics easier because, he's always moving all the time. He's doing flips, all this stuff. So he's going to easily keep, all this athletic muscle on him. And athletic muscle looks so much better than, the strength muscle, okay? Now, ideally, you get like both. But if we're talking about one where someone has only athletic muscle and the other one has like this strong, I pick up barrels muscles, the dude with athletic muscle is going to look a lot better. Also, performance is going to go to Nightwing, okay? He's going to be more faster. He's going to be more agile. He's going to have a better endurance look. And this is going to be an easier physique to achieve. And this is going to be a physique you can maintain for the rest of your life once you build it, okay? You're going to be able to always have this athletic, aesthetic look. And this is going to help you age better. It's going to help you move better. It's not going to give you as much issues in the long run. So I do recommend everyone just tries to go shoot for this physique. All right, just because easier to get, and it's going to be a lot more healthier for the body if you just build a physique like this. But there's nothing wrong with going for this physique either, which is going to be strength. That's going to be round number 5. We're going to give it the strength. He looks stronger. He's more grounded. And he's going to have more of a fighter build. So like I said, strength's pretty obvious. He's clearly way stronger than Nightwing. But like I said, there's nothing wrong if you want to build a physique like this. It's just going to be harder, and it's going to be harder to maintain. But it still looks badass. All right, there's nothing wrong with building a physique like this. Just like there's nothing wrong with building a physique like this. It really all just depends on your personal preference. So like I said, the winner's going to go to Nightwing. He wins 3-2. All right. So I might even do some more battles like this into the future. All right. Just because, it's kind of fun. You get to see this physique versus this physique. Which one should I build? Okay. How much more slides are there? Oh, this is the last slide? Okay. So this is the final thing right here. I want to mention to you guys that, hold on. I don't think you guys can see this, but there's something in the way. Okay. This is the final slide right here. All right. I just want to let you guys know this is basically based off your height and proportions. This is going to show you if you should build this, if you should get this build or not. All right. So if you're 5'6" to 5'9", I recommend you just do the Nightwing build. All right. Don't make this an argument. Don't make this a fight. All right. If you're 5'6" to 5'9", don't go for this build. You're just going to look weird. You look at the Trend Twins, for example. They don't look that aesthetic. They don't look that good. They have these big, bulky muscle, but they just look like mini pekkas. Like, they all call them mini pekkas for a reason. I mean, I recommend if you're 5'6" to 5'9", or even shorter than 5'6", I recommend everyone just goes for this Nightwing physique right here. This is going to be the easiest one to attain, okay? It's going to be the best one that works for your height, okay? I know a lot of people get this wrong. They think just because, they're short, they need to get, big and bulky like crazy. They got to, I don't got the height, so I got to get insanely strong. But they actually got this all wrong. I recommend you just get this athletic physique no matter what your height is, okay? So if you're 5'6", between 5'9", or even shorter than 5'6", definitely go for this Nightwing style physique, okay? Don't fall in the trap where you got to get all huge like the Trend Twins or other people too, just because you're short, okay? Now, you can do that if you're tall, but it's just different. You got to build your archetype properly. You don't want to just be short and be insanely big like a tall guy would, and it's just not going to match your archetype well, okay? Now, 5'10" to 6 foot, you can do whatever one you want. All right, you have a lot of versatility here. If you're 5'10" to 6 foot, you can do the Nightwing physique if you want, or if you want to, experience with Jason Todd, you can go for that physique too. So it really depends on what you want to do here in this height. 6'1", this is going to be basically mainly focused on building this physique right here. You have the proportions, you have the height to build a physique right here. I'm pretty sure in the comics he's 6 foot, and Nightwing is 5'9", 5'10". So yeah, if you're 6'1" plus, I recommend you definitely go for this physique because you have a gift. You know what I mean? And you do have the opportunity to build this really cool physique that not everyone's able to build. So, and of course, if you're 6'1" plus, you can also go for the Nightwing physique. But like I said, actually, now it's in a different presentation. I gotta show you guys this other presentation since we're already done with this video. Give me 1 second. I might cut this out, to be honest. I think it's right here. Just give me 1 second. This is my Nightwing archetype video. But like I said in this video, because I just made this before I recorded this video, as a taller height, it's going to be a lot more easier to build a physique like this. It's going to be a lot more, not easier, but it's going to be more, it makes more sense to build a physique like this as a taller guy. Build this tall, wide frame, build, versus this guy right here. He's going to be shorter, so he should focus on more of a lean, athletic, pretty boy look and not a tall, dominant Chad look. So if you're tall, if you're 6'1" plus, go for the tall, dominant Chad look. If you're 5'10" to 6 foot, pick whatever one you want. And if you're 5'9" and under, go for the lean, athletic, pretty boy look. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can never miss an upload. And if you want to see more videos like this, more physique battles, physique analysis, just let me know. Not top link in the description. Let me know in the comment section below, and check out the top link in the description too. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. All right, we out.